how to tell if you're full. So there are several ways that you could tell if you're full when you're eating. One of them, I'm going to give you one today. One of them is to look for the first belch. Now, many people think that like belching in our society is like considered pretty rude, and you don't want to just rip one off, or in the restaurant, or when you're having a family dinner. It's not exactly great dinner etiquette. However, most of us can't tell that we have a belch or a burp when we are eating, because there's a lot of distraction with the way that we eat these days. And sometimes we're eating so fast that we're gulping down a whole bunch of air, and it's also very difficult for us to tell if we're full because it skews our results. It doesn't allow us to pay attention to what we're doing, which is the eating. And so when you sit down in a quiet, stress-free environment, that's where eating should be done. Eating done in any other environment actually really impacts your digestion. So if you're walking around eating a bagel, drinking a coffee, you're gulping down lots of air, you're not concentrating on what you're doing, you're also in fight or flight mode. So that doesn't make it easy for your body to be able to digest food well, which impacts your ability to get any kind of nutrition in your body in the first place. So when you're sitting in a quiet, stress-free environment and you're having your breakfast or your lunch or your dinner, when you're eating slowly, there is a burp that happens with your body. Your body is incredibly intelligent. Hey Karen, hey DL, thanks for watching. There is a burp that you need to listen for when you're eating. It's called the first burp. So that tells you that you are full, because it's the air escaping from your body. Your stomach actually needs a little bit of room in it in order to do its job. I've said this before on a few other lives, that if you cram a whole bunch of food into your stomach and then you expect it to do its work, it's kind of like, when you cram too many people into a subway, they're like this and they can't move, right? And they can't do the things they need to do. Your food needs to be able to move around and mix with other things so that it can properly digest and do its job. Kind of like a washing machine. It just needs to mix and let the enzymes do what they need to do and the acids do what they need to do, so that it needs room in it. And part of that room is the air in your body. And so the air, when your stomach feels that it is full, there will be a little bit of air that will escape up your throat, and it will be like a subtle belch. I'm not talking about like Barney from The Simpsons or anything. I'm talking about a subtle one. So you need to listen for that. If you've belched or burped twice, then you're getting almost too full, and then 3 burps is like, okay, way too full. What does Taylor say? Love it. We always talk about pooping and farting. People who don't find it very funny, that embarrasses them. Oh, gosh. I'm trying to read more, Diala. Sorry, it says see more. I might have to read this after. Otherwise, okay. But anyway, yeah. Oh, I'm like... Girls talking about pooping and farting all the time. I think girls are grosser than guys, and any guy will probably attest to that as well. So if you always have heartburn, yeah, that's a very good indication of what's called an imbalance in your, well, I'll use a fancy term here. It's a pitta imbalance. Pitta imbalance is anything that's inflammatory in its nature. So if that heartburn is there, that's an indication of that sort of imbalance. Anyway, so when you know you're full is when you have that first burp, and that's basically when you stop eating. So you don't want to fill your stomach really full. You might be super hungry and everything, but again, you're taxing your system, and you're taxing your stomach, your small intestine, your large intestine, and any stuff that goes out into the body, and the way that you absorb nutrition is therefore hampered because of us filling our bellies too full with food. What does Cuzzy Karen say? I didn't know about the burp, but it will watch for it at dinner tonight. Yes, yeah. Pay attention to that. And that's super crucial when you're eating. Conscious eating is part of a really healthy, balanced diet. And so many of us do not do that these days. Not only do we not do that with those habits, but we have a really poor relationship with our food as a whole. So many of us aren't motivated to sit down and eat a meal. The thing is that, like, I get busyness, and it's not like I'm not busy either. I also have a full life. But the thing is that there's a cost to that, because our body is designed to work at a slower pace than what our current frenetic society is operating at. So, that means that we may miss those cues along the way, those cues that are very important because they're telling us one thing. It's like the first warning sign before something kind of bad happens later on down the road, right? So we're missing a lot of that. And for us to be able to kind of bring back a little bit of calm in our lives, one way that we can do it is slow down the way that we're eating so that we have enough time to listen to that first belt.